What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Talk. Today, let's get started with Merab Dvalishvili is making his intentions crystal clear ahead of his highly anticipated rematch with Petr Yan. 2 years have passed since their first meeting, and while many MMA fans expect Merab to rely heavily on his world-class wrestling once again, the machine is sending a bold message to the entire UFC community. Do not be shocked if this fight ends with a knockout. As excitement builds for this weekend's bantamweight showdown, Dvalishvili has been showcasing a level of confidence that goes beyond the typical pre-fight talk. On a recent episode of UFC Embedded, he spoke with a calm, almost relaxed certainty about where his skills currently stand. According to Merab, fighting is something that has become second nature. He explained that he doesn't feel the pressure or nerves that often accompany high-stakes bouts. Instead, he sees this fight as just another day of doing what he excels at. "I'm not even worried about the fight," Dvalishvili said during the episode. "Fighting is what I do every day. I can wake up and go straight into a fight. I'm always improving, always adding new techniques. Don't be surprised if I knock this guy out or finish him on the ground. I'm getting better and better." These comments instantly caught the attention of fans and analysts. While Merab has built his reputation on relentless pace and suffocating grappling, he insists that Yan should prepare for much more than takedown attempts and ground control. According to him, his striking has evolved to a point where a knockout is not only possible but something he is actively hunting for. This rematch carries significant implications for the bantamweight division. Petr Yan, a former champion known for his sharp boxing and technical precision, is entering the fight eager to correct the trajectory of his career. Merab, on the other hand, is riding a wave of momentum and believes he is on the path to a title shot. With both fighters motivated and much more developed than they were 2 years ago, fans can expect a fast-paced, high-intensity battle. And if Merab's message is any indication, he plans on proving that his evolution as a fighter is far from complete, and that Petr Yan might be the first to experience the full extent of it. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Dricus du Plessis has made it clear that he wants to fight his way back to a UFC title, and he believes Brendan Allen is the perfect opponent to begin that journey. Following his recent loss to Khamzat Chimaev, where he was dominated and ultimately stripped of his middleweight championship, du Plessis is now focused on rebuilding momentum and proving that he remains one of the elite fighters in the division. In a recent interview, du Plessis didn't hold back when discussing Allen, stating that he would love to smash his face in. While the words may sound heated, Dricus emphasized that his motivation is not personal. Instead, he views Allen as a meaningful step toward reclaiming his belt. According to du Plessis, he has no interest in hype-driven matchups or big-money spectacle fights. His only priority is returning to the top, and he wants the opponents who will bring him closest to another championship opportunity. "Listen, you win 2 fights in a row and suddenly you're calling out former champions," du Plessis said with a mix of frustration and confidence. "I would absolutely love to smash his face in. He's such an idiot, but to be honest, I'm focused on what matters. As a champion, you choose your opponents strategically, and I've always wanted to fight the best available guy. That's what drives me." He continued by clarifying that he's not looking for shortcuts, easy matchups, or promotional theatrics. "I don't want a hype fight and I don't want a money fight," he explained. "I want the fight that gets me back to the title the fastest. That's the only thing I care about. If the UFC believes Brendan Allen is that fight, then I'm ready. If not, I'll fight whoever they put in front of me, as long as it moves me toward the belt." Du Plessis also acknowledged that Allen is currently on a 2-fight win streak, but questioned whether it truly positions Allen as the most logical next contender. Despite that uncertainty, Dricus insists he isn't picky. His sole mission is reclaiming UFC gold. With the middleweight division heating up, this potential matchup could be a defining step in du Plessis' comeback story, and fans are already buzzing about the intensity it promises to deliver. Move on to another news. Kamaru Usman has officially responded to Tyron Woodley's recent comments, and the former welterweight champion didn't hold back. Earlier this week, Woodley publicly disputed Dana White's claim that Usman is the greatest welterweight of all time. Woodley argued that he, not Kamaru, had the toughest road to the title, pointing out that he defeated elite fighters such as Damian Maia, Robbie Lawler, and Stephen "Wonderboy" Thompson during his run. According to Woodley, Usman benefited from playing the political game, accepting every fight offered in order to stay in the UFC's good graces. Kamaru Usman addressed these comments on his Pound for Pound podcast, expressing expressing disappointment rather than anger. He clarified that he has always been a supporter of Woodley's career, even before they fought, but Woodley's recent remarks have made it increasingly difficult for him to remain a fan. Usman questioned why Woodley has been consistently taking shots at him, his team, and his manager, even though Usman himself has never spoken negatively about Woodley in public. "What did I ever do to him?" Usman asked. "You would think we fought multiple times or had some kind of long-term beef. I've never gone after him publicly, but for a while now, I've heard him hating on me, my team, and my manager. It's not our fault things didn't go the way they did for him. It's sad, honestly, because I really admired him at one point. I used to look at him and say, man, I love what you're doing, but he's making it very hard for me to keep being a fan." The debate around the welterweight GOAT continues to intensify. While some fans and fighters point to Usman's dominant championship run, not everyone agrees. Recently, Carlos Prates appeared on the MMA Hour and stated that he believes Usman is the greatest welterweight of all time. However, Ariel Helwani immediately pushed back, insisting that Georges St-Pierre is still the true GOAT of the division, citing his longevity, resume, and overall impact on the sport. With opinions split among fans, fighters, analysts, and even former champions, the conversation surrounding the welterweight GOAT remains one of the most heated debates in MMA. Who do you think holds the rightful crown? Let us know in the comments below. Move on to another news. We've got some unfortunate news surrounding UFC 324, as a major women's fight has been unexpectedly disrupted. Late last night, Sherdog MMA reported that the highly anticipated matchup between Rose Namajunas and Alexa Grasso has officially been cancelled. According to early details, it was Grasso who withdrew from the bout, though no explanation has been provided at the time of this report. The reason for her withdrawal remains unknown, leaving many fans puzzled and disappointed. Fortunately for the UFC and for Rose Namajunas, the promotion moved quickly to secure a replacement opponent, and the choice was both surprising and compelling. Instead of Grasso, Namajunas will now be facing rising contender Natalia Silva at UFC 324. The announcement raised eyebrows across the MMA community, especially considering that former champion Valentina Shevchenko had recently expressed interest in fighting Silva next. However, it appears the UFC wanted to keep Silva active, and she was more than willing to step in on short notice. For fans who may not yet be familiar with Natalia Silva, the Brazilian flyweight has been on an impressive tear. She is currently riding a stunning 7-0 streak in the UFC, demonstrating elite striking, sharp movement, and rapidly evolving all-around skills. Adding an extra layer of intrigue to this matchup is the fact that Silva's most recent victory actually came against Alexa Grasso, the very fighter who has now withdrawn from this scheduled bout. Silva broke the news herself in an interview with Sherdog MMA. She revealed that the UFC called to inform her that Valentina Shevchenko would not be ready to compete in January, and the promotion wanted Silva to take another fight to stay active. Without hesitation, she agreed. "I'll be fighting on January 24th against Rose Namajunas," Silva confirmed. "I don't know what happened with Alexa, but if I want to be UFC champion, I have to face any challenge. I'll be ready." When asked about the matchup, Silva showed respect for Namajunas' skill set. "Rose is a very tough opponent," she said. "Her footwork is excellent, and when she's not comfortable striking, she mixes in strong takedowns. My team has already begun studying her style so we can build a game plan to win." With this unexpected change, UFC 324 now features an exciting new clash between a former champion and a surging contender, a matchup that could reshape the future of the women's flyweight division. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili has opened up about his ongoing feud with Usman Nurmagomedov, providing the most detailed explanation yet of why tensions between the two bantamweights remain so high. Many fans have predicted that a rematch between the two is inevitable, especially after their competitive first encounter this past January. Dvalishvili won that bout by decision, handing Umar the first loss of his professional career. However, according to Merab, what has happened outside the cage has fueled the rivalry far more than anything that happened during their fight. In the lead up to their first matchup, both men exchanged verbal shots online and in interviews. That back and forth didn't stop after UFC 311, if anything, it intensified. Now, as Merab prepares for his upcoming rematch with Petr Yan at UFC 323, he used the Pound for Pound podcast to explain why his issues with Umar run much deeper than typical pre-fight trash talk. According to Merab, his biggest frustration is the lack of respect he felt from Umar. "The number one thing," he explained, "is that he called me a fake champion. I don't know if it was him tweeting cheating or someone doing it for him, but I know for sure it wasn't his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, because Ali reached out to me personally and said he had nothing to do with it. Merab suggested that someone close to Umar was handling his social media, and he criticized that approach. He emphasized that while English isn't his first language, he always makes sure his tweets are his own words, even if he needs help translating. What kind of man lets someone else speak for him? He asked. I'll never let my manager, my friend, or my brother tweet for me. If something is posted, it's me. Dvalishvili went on to explain that being called a fake champion is what angered him most. Yes, it's a fight. Anything can happen. One punch can change everything. But I earned my way to the championship. I worked hard for it. When you fight for a title, you should respect the champion. You don't want to beat someone you think is worthless. Respect matters. While many fans expect tensions between the two to calm down if a rematch happens, several obstacles must be cleared first. Merab must get past Petr Yan next weekend, and Umar is scheduled to face Deiveson Figueiredo at UFC 324. Only if both men win will the long-awaited rematch become a serious possibility. Until then, the rivalry continues to build, and neither fighter seems ready to back down. Move on to another news. In one of the more surprising announcements of the week, Real American Freestyle revealed that Colby Covington will be facing former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold at RAF 5 on January 10th. The news caught many MMA fans off guard, as Covington has been noticeably absent from competition throughout 2025, and Rockhold himself has been taking selective matchups outside the UFC. The pairing is unexpected, stylistically intriguing, and immediately generated buzz across the combat sports world. Colby Covington has not stepped into the cage since his loss to Joaquin Buckley in December of last year. That defeat left many wondering what Covington's next move would be, with some speculating retirement and others believing he was merely regrouping. His absence from the UFC in 2025 added to that uncertainty. Now, with this RAF 5 announcement, it appears Covington is using the matchup as a warm-up fight as he prepares for a potential return to the UFC later in the year. The bout offers him a chance to stay active, rebuild momentum, and sharpen his skill set against a seasoned but stylistically different opponent. Luke Rockhold, meanwhile, continues to carve out a unique career path since leaving full-time UFC competition. Rockhold has jumped between combat sports, from MMA to bare-knuckle boxing, and now to this RAF event. Known for his elite kicking game, world-class grappling, and experience as a former champion, Rockhold presents a fascinating challenge for Covington. While Rockhold has dealt with durability issues in recent years, he still possesses one of the most dangerous toolkits in the sport when he's motivated and fully prepared. RAF 5 takes place during a 6-week gap in major UFC events, giving fans something exciting to look forward to while the world's biggest promotion is temporarily inactive. The Covington vs. Rockhold matchup adds star power to that break, offering a clash between two well-known polarizing figures in MMA. The fight raises several questions. How will Covington look after more than a year away from the cage? Can Rockhold handle the relentless pace and wrestling pressure that Covington is known for? And perhaps most importantly, what does this fight signal for both men's careers moving forward? Regardless of the answers, RAF 5 just became a much more compelling event. Move on to another news. In an unexpected moment that quickly went viral across social media, Paddy Pimblett was filmed being knocked down during a recent charity event, an incident that has sparked widespread discussion while also earning him respect from fans for his willingness to participate in the cause. The video, which circulated online shortly after the event concluded, shows Pimblett engaging in a lighthearted exhibition match meant to raise money and awareness for a charitable organization. Despite the playful nature of the event, emotions ran high and the competitive spirit kicked in, ultimately resulting in a clean knockdown that caught many spectators, and even Pimblett himself, by surprise. While the footage might seem shocking at first glance, it's important to place the moment in context. This was not a professional fight, nor was it intended to be a serious athletic contest. Instead, Pimblett volunteered to participate in order to help raise funds and bring attention to a meaningful cause. The fact that he willingly stepped into the ring, knowing that anything can happen even in a controlled environment, shows a level of courage and good-natured humility that fans and fellow fighters have praised. Witnesses at the event reported that Pimblett handled the knockdown with professionalism, humor, and grace. Immediately after hitting the canvas, he was seen smiling, acknowledging the shot, and shaking walking it off as the crowd applauded both competitors. The lighthearted, charitable atmosphere remained intact, and Pimblett continued participating with the same enthusiasm he brought from the start. The viral clip has since sparked a wave of commentary online. Some fans jokingly reacted to the moment, while others applauded him for using his platform in a positive way, even if it meant risking the occasional embarrassing highlight. Many pointed out that few professional fighters would agree to take part in an event where the stakes were simply pride, charity, and entertainment rather than rankings or titles. Ultimately, the incident showcases one of Paddy Pimblett's best qualities: his willingness to put ego aside and do something meaningful for others. Whether inside the octagon or outside of it, Pimblett continues to demonstrate that he is more than just a fighter. He's someone committed to giving back, even when it comes at his own expense. Move on to another news. In a recent conversation with Submission Radio, longtime lightweight contender Beneil Dariush opened up about a major career decision he has been weighing: a potential move up to the welterweight division. Dariush, who has spent his entire UFC run competing at 155 pounds, revealed that he has been seriously evaluating whether his future might be better suited at 170. During the interview, Dariush explained that this wasn't just a passing thought. He wanted real, measurable data before making any decisions, so he began undergoing professional testing to understand how his body would respond to a move in weight classes. One of the first steps he took was completing a full DEXA scan, a highly accurate assessment method commonly used by elite athletes to analyze body composition. According to Dariush, the results were revealing. The scan showed he was walking around at approximately 185 to 186 pounds while maintaining roughly 10% body fat. That number indicated he had about 19 pounds of fat on his frame, a normal and healthy amount for someone of his size, but also a sign that cutting down to 155 pounds might be putting unnecessary stress on his body at this stage of his career. After seeing the data, Dariush said he decided it was time to gather even more information before making a final call. He reached out to the UFC and scheduled further performance testing with the Performance Institute. There, he plans to run additional evaluations to determine how well he would adapt physically, athletically, and safely to competing at welterweight. Dariush emphasized that he didn't want to continue giving vague answers about his competitive future. Instead, he wanted clarity for himself, his team, and the fans who have supported him. This step-by-step approach shows his commitment not only to making the best decision for his career, but also to ensuring his long-term health and performance inside the octagon. With Dariush exploring a new division, fans are now left wondering, would you be interested in seeing Beneil Dariush test himself at welterweight? The move could open the door to fresh matchups, new challenges, and an exciting new chapter for one of the sport's most respected veterans.